Hey everyone, how's it going? It's Excelsior and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to go over 10 essential things to know to maximize your survivability and increase the enjoyability of DayZ, so let's jump right into it. Number 1 has a couple parts but can be summed up as medical. Medicine in DayZ is incredibly important, but often misunderstood. The broad categories we'll discuss today are disinfectants, medicines, pain relief, and prevention. The disinfectants in the game are chlorine tablets, which are used for water purification and to avoid cholera from unclean water sources, disinfectant spray, which is used on rags, clothes, medical equipment, and other supplies to reduce the chance of infection from germs, and alcoholic tincture, which is used the same way as spray or applied directly to wounds. If you find yourself constantly getting sick, even with high food, water, and heat, you might want to treat and disinfect your clothes. The medicines are charcoal tablets, which are used to cure food poisoning from raw meat, poisoning, or getting sick from eating with unclean hands, and tetracycline, which is an antibiotic and is used to treat all diseases like cholera, a cold, and others, with differing levels of efficiency. For pain relief, you've got codeine pills, which are used to treat physical pain from sprains and fractures for 5 minutes, and morphine, which allows you to run at normal speed and avoid being knocked out from any pain effects for up to 1 minute. The only preventative care is multivitamins, which boost your immune system to 100 for 5 minutes. This assists in reducing existing sickness or completely preventing contagion during this period. You could even eat raw meat if you wanted. All these items can be found in various medical centers spread out over Chernarus, or in the hospitals that are usually located solely in big cities. Number 2 is how to use the iSurvive map. Ask any DayZ veteran and they'll tell you the iSurvive map is an absolutely essential piece for survival, which you'll hear me reference it a couple times throughout the video, which is why it's up at number 2. The iSurvive map is an interactive map that you can view terrain, satellite views, points of interest, where certain buildings are, spawns of certain things, and much more. You can use it to figure out your spawn, best loot routes from your location, cities around you, and so on. It's extremely helpful if you're lost and need to find civilization, or even setting up a rendezvous point with your friends. You can access it via web browser or even downloading the app to your phone. I'll include the web link below to go check it out. Number 3 is an expansion on navigating the road system. If you're paying attention while running around down the main roads of Chernarus, you'll see white and blue road signs written in Russian. Assuming you can't read them like most people, you might have a hard time understanding them. The white signs are the official city and village limits and can be used to see what town you're approaching or leaving by matching the sign up with the iSurvive map and seeing exactly where you're at. The blue signs tell you what cities are close by and which general direction they are, noted by an arrow and a street headed in that direction. It'll also include a number, which is the distance in kilometers from the destination. If you're in the US and you're used to the mile system, then you can simply take the miles times it by 1.5, and that's roughly the kilometers, and that takes about 2.5 minutes to run on foot in DayZ. Again, you can use the iSurvive map to see where it is and what points of interest or looting locations are along the way, to plot the most effective path to gear up while heading inland and not wasting your time. Number 4 is how to craft an improvised fishing rod and catch fish for an easy to acquire and sustainable food source. Fish are actually one of the most calorie dense foods in all of DayZ, so it's nice to learn how to do. To start off, the only item that you'll need is a knife. If you don't have one, you can make one by combining 2 stones, which can be found along paths or train tracks. Depending on your luck, this could take anywhere from a minute to 5 minutes to an hour. Once you have one, you'll need bones for the fishing hook, which are found by skinning a dead animal, a rope, or 2 stacks of 6 rags to make one, a long stick, which can be found from cutting bushes, and worms, which can be found by digging with a knife equipped. Once you have the materials, you'll combine the long stick with the rope to make an improvised fishing pole. You'll then take the worms and combine them with a fishing hook to get bait. Finally, you'll take the bait and equip it to the fishing rod, not combine it like you normally do. Now all you'll need to do is go to any body of water, such as a pond or ocean, and walk up to it and wait for the prompt to fish. Your hook is good for 3 casts, but you should at least get 1 fish by then. If you don't catch a fish within that first hook, you'll just have to find another animal, get more bones, and remake one. As a bonus, if you have any extra bone fishing hooks, they can actually also be used as a substitute for their leather sewing kit when you're creating your leather clothes. Once you have the fish, you'll take it, skin it with your knife, then cook it, and you're done. Rinse and repeat for more. Number 5 is all about balancing your time and energy. Even though it may be common sense, it's worth saying that sprinting uses up much more energy than normal jogging. While walking and jogging, you use minor to moderate amounts of food and water, aka energy. While sprinting, on the other hand, you'll see in the bottom right that both meters start dropping much faster, which is indicated by 3 downward pointing arrows. This is fine if you have food reserves, but if you're running building to building looking for food, you're likely wasting much more energy than you'll find from food, and you may even miss items along the way. Instead, take it slow to save your energy and take in the scenery. One big benefit to sprinting though is that it raises your body temperature, which can assist if you don't have warm clothes or just need that little extra boost to avoid your core temperature dropping too low to the blue danger zone. This may not seem like a big deal, but getting sick is no joke and can quickly lead you right back to a spawn on the coast. Bonus tip: if you found these first 5 helpful, consider hitting the like and subscribe buttons below to get more videos like this. It helps you and greatly helps the channel, so it's a win-win. Back to the list. Number 6 is just a quick tip to deal with zombies. If you're overwhelmed by zombies and can't easily melee them or take them out without drawing much more attention with a gun, such as in the middle of a city, you can simply gather them up and run into the nearest building. Make sure there's no other exit doors open, then run around inside until they're all inside. Once they're in, turn around and sprint out the original door, close behind you, and problem solved. Number 7 is how to identify which objects or zombies contain loot, once they're dead of course. It can get tiresome constantly looting zombies just to find that they have nothing on them. Instead, after you kill the zombies, simply look at the body and you'll see infected. If there's a plus sign next to the name, you know it contains loot, such as food, drinks, or other items. If there's no plus sign, the body doesn't contain any equipment. The same applies for items on the ground, such as backpacks. You'll see the same plus sign if the object has items inside, so it might be worth looking while passing by even if you have a better version. This saves a lot of time running through areas, and to avoid stopping unnecessarily, giving those pesky bandits a free shot at your loot. Number 8 is how to grab a quick bite on the road. Apple orchards or fruit trees can be a lifesaver, quite literally, if they're not already picked clean on the coast or bugged out. You can find these in a bunch of different spots, which can quickly be found on the iSurvive map. You might find 0 apples or you might find several, but it doesn't hurt to at least take a quick detour and check them out while you're running through. They're even better if you can bake them on a fire to give more nutrition at the expense of a little water, which is much easier to come by. The same applies for the pear and plum trees that you might find running through some of the more remote villages in Chernarus. Number 9 is all about eating. Looking at your food and water meter, it might appear that you can't eat that much based on the simple red, yellow, and white levels, so to speak. You start at 500 units of water and 600 units of energy, also known as kcal, with a maximum of 5,000 water and 7,500 energy. To further this, you start out with an empty stomach, but have a max of 2,000. All food and water beverages have differing levels of nutrition and stomach weight, which can be found online, so it's kind of a balancing game. You'll see that your food and hydration meter already shows 2/3 full, which is inaccurate because you're really only at about 1/10 of their capacity when you spawn. For this reason, it's highly recommended to eat absolutely everything you can find as soon as you find it, including the food you spawn with. The only catch is if you're sick, in which case you should only eat what's necessary to survive until you get better, so you don't accidentally throw it all up. There's no benefit to really saving food unless your stomach is full, which is indicated by the stomach icon in the bottom right of your food meter. In this case, wait a little bit longer for it to digest, and then keep chewing and drinking. Last but not least is a simple reminder to not overeat if you're sick. I mentioned this before, but if you're sick at all, indicated by the virus icon by your food and water, stop stuffing your face. If you consume more than a few bites and drinks every few minutes, you're likely to throw up and waste a ton of your energy reserves. This can quickly lead you right back to the coast if you're not prepared or have another food source to avoid losing health from dehydration or hunger. As always, I hope you all enjoyed and found this helpful. If you did, you can help support the channel by liking this and subscribing for more. Let me know down below what other videos you'd like to see, and I hope to see you guys in the next one.